Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the beginning of a new month. It is a day late. It is June 2nd. I'm going to be honest with you. Today is June 2nd, and June 1st just snuck up on me. It just came way too fast, and I didn't realize that this was a new month already. So I'm a day late in recording and posting this. So I'm actually recording this on June 2nd. I'm just being honest. I'm putting all my cards out there for you. Because I just want to be honest. We're in the self-love club and we want to talk about acceptance and all that good stuff. So we have a new intention this month. I really hope you enjoyed last month's intention, which was flourish, which I believe we all are continuously doing. If you listen to this past Sunday's episode, you know that flourishing is a never-ending journey, and that's just what's beautiful about it is it's a constant growth. It's a constant ability to learn more about yourself, feel good in your life, feel good about what you're accomplishing, where you're going, what you're doing, and just, you know, the journey of flourishing, being in tune with that. So this month we're switching gears. We're going in a whole other direction. And our intention for this month is to speak up. So can you hear me? Hello? Anyone there? I hope you can hear me because we are talking about speaking up, and also this is a podcast, so if you couldn't hear me, that would be pretty unfortunate for the sound quality. But yes, the intention this month is about speaking up because I've definitely been in situations more times in my life than I would probably like to admit where I did not speak up for myself. I didn't feel confident in my voice. I didn't really know what I wanted or how to say what I wanted, so I just didn't really say anything at all. And looking back, those are those, thoughts that haunt you as you're falling asleep that just sort of trickle in and sit there in your mind. And then you can't fall asleep because you remember that time that you didn't say what you wanted and you didn't say how you felt because you didn't know how to speak up. And that's totally okay because it's actually pretty natural to be uncomfortable in certain situations and maybe nervous to say what you really want or how you feel. And when you're in those situations and you're not able to vocalize and speak up for yourself, it's easy to lose connection to even what you want and to lose that inner conversation and knowing of what that voice is saying and what you actually want to be verbalizing in that sentence, in that moment, and in that situation. I love a little homework, and I'm going to be honest, this month's with our intention of speaking up, it is going to be a bit more work. This one is a bit more tactile in terms of like actually doing things, putting things into practice, not just listening to one podcast episode a week and then checking that off your list. I really do want all of us to be spending a bit more time in understanding how we can find that voice, our inner voice, connect to it and use it to better our relationships, our confidence, all these different things in life that really we do need to speak up about. And I will definitely share as many stories about speaking up as possible. You know that about me. I love to share a little story or two. So definitely expect that because maybe you're not sure what area you need to speak up in. Maybe this is something that as you're listening right now, you're like, well, I feel like I say what I want to say when I need to say it. But there might be something that comes up and you realize, oh, that's an area that you haven't been speaking up or you haven't been speaking up enough at least. So some light examples, for example, would be taking a lunch break. Did you know that you shouldn't eat your lunch at your keyboard while working? Like that's not considered lunch and you should be able to say, I will finish this after I have my lunch break or I will start this after I have lunch. And I think in this world of work from home, whatever situation, hybrid situation we're all in right now, the idea of proper breaks from work just doesn't really exist the same way. So that's a really light example of speaking up that we'll get into. And then some other ones, one that I've learned over probably 15 plus years is how to speak up and advocate for my health. This is something I actually spoke about on my other podcast, This Could Work with Malika, who you may know. Her and I were just chatting about things that have definitely helped us in our self-care practice. And for me, advocating for my health while I was navigating post-concussion syndrome, migraines, endometriosis, literally the list can go on and on. I realized that if I wasn't speaking up about what I was feeling, my symptoms, what I was needing, the quality of life that I needed, I wasn't going to get the support and help that I needed from my healthcare team, whether that's their job or not. I was responsible also for speaking up. So those are just some places that we're going to talk about speaking up. We're obviously going to get into like how to speak up, how to find that confidence and how to do it. So get excited for a little bit of homework. Again, I know I've mentioned this before. If you have a notebook, if you don't have a notebook, this is a great time to get a notebook. If you need recommendations for notebooks, I am your notebook girl, and I will help you choose the best notebook to start journaling and writing everything down in. And I know I've been talking about this before because I've wanted to make this a bit more interactive. I am here alone. As you can tell, it's just me. Yes, we've had some special guests on the podcast, and we will continue to have special guests on the podcast. But I want you, our community of Mary Young, the Self-Love Club, I want all of you to speak up. So we have something very new and very exciting. In our show notes, you can click on the link to leave a voice message for me, and I'm going to start answering some of your questions. Maybe we'll do some one-off episodes, or I'll weave them into different weeks. But I want to hear from you specifically about speaking up. So this is your homework step number 1. I want you to literally speak up and leave me a voice message. Head to the show notes, and there will be a link there for you to head to our webpage where you can use your phone or you can do it on your computer and leave a voice message for me. You don't have to leave your full name or your name at all if you want to. It'll help me address who I'm answering questions to, but if not, it's totally fine. And I would like to hear questions you may have about speaking up. Maybe you're not sure how to even begin, areas you want to talk about speaking up in, or maybe you want to share a story about when you felt really good speaking up, because I think it's also important to celebrate those wins, big or small, about when you find that confidence, you find your inner voice and you use it. So this is the time to get involved, start doing a little bit of homework, and get ready for this month's intention of speaking up. I hope you have an amazing day, and remember to love yourself first.